Can't sleep? Neither can I. We're going into battle for the soul of the living lands, rallying under the banners of the Paradise Militia. Your Emperor will not be pleased. Political influence is dangerous. If you aren't careful, it can turn against you. When a godlike fights in battle, people take note of which side. The Adirans will doubt your loyalty. The locals will doubt your commitment. You may even doubt yourself. This is the first time you were told to pick a side. And I fear it won't be the last. All we ask in return is that you do the same for us. From what I understand, your ambassador is very persuasive, very powerful, and very accustomed to getting his way. For a politician like him, losing a battle is not a defeat. It's an opportunity. When he promises you the world, don't listen. He'll fill your head with lies if you let him. I'm glad we understand each other. It's good to see you fighting for the misfits and rabble-rousers. Time for you to get some rest. We have a big day ahead of us. When I agreed to travel with you, I didn't think I'd find myself at the center of a political upheaval. So imagine my surprise when you gave the living lands a chance to unite, to prove itself, and to stand tall before its enemies. Granted, it was an uphill climb. The Dream Scourge exposed our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities. But thanks to our struggle, the island finally knows itself. Now we can decide who we want to become. I can't wait to see what we do with that freedom. Either way, the challenge is ours. No one can take it from us. But to answer your question, the future looks bright for a change. In truth, I'm not as worried as I used to be. I've been thinking about the Inquisitor. Formulating a theory, you might say. A Death Guard clings to their existence by force of will. Stubbornness, unfinished business, that sort of thing. Ludwig is held together by faith, and that may be her undoing. Precisely. Faith is the foundation of her reality. Faith in the righteousness of the gods. But according to her faith, Zapadal should not exist. A new god independent of hers? Blasphemy. By that logic, you shouldn't exist either. And yet here you are. That's my point, exactly. I think you already have. You are the godlike of a heretical god, a contradiction to her reality. Can you imagine how much she needs you to die? Her entire worldview depends on it. Who knows? Maybe that uncertainty is enough to make her mortal again. Or maybe not. I'm just theorizing as I go. Whatever happens, I want to see it for myself. For the research. Is it really that obvious? No matter who wins or loses, the living lands won't be the same. In my heart, I know that's a good thing. Life is impossible without change, and change can be frightening. I just want to put this behind us. I want it to be over. You want to... Neither can I. I never used to believe in destiny. Life always felt meaningless, like groping through the dark, but in a good way. All of that was before the garden. What are the odds that you and I meet? And after a series of mishaps, I learned the truth about my family's past? You're going to give yourself a headache squinting like that. I don't know if that was destiny at work, but it feels significant somehow. Whatever you choose to call it, a coincidence like this does not happen every day. Let's appreciate it for what it is. Moments like this are few and far between. Go on then, I'm listening. Until next time. I can't wait to give the Steel Garrote a piece of my mind.
Well, here we are. We're doing this. We're fighting your people. Are you okay? No doubts or second thoughts? Really? Well, you're better than me, dearie. Thinking back on all we've done, it's impressive, don't you think? We went to the garden, a prison untouched by time. And that's skipping to the end. I mean, think of all we've done. You helped the Animancers get back on their feet after Fjord was raised. And though I may mourn the loss of Nakukubel, I can't deny that Thirdborn is safe now. Who would have thought I'd be here, fighting with an Adiran? Oh, I suppose I can work with that. Truly, thank you. I'm forever changed for our time together. As weird as you are, Envoy, I'm glad we're here, now, ready to save the living lands. Well, let's go kill that dead woman. How can I help, darling? Sweet dreams, Envoy.
So, the Living Lands is going it alone. It's exciting, but I wouldn't break out the good stuff just yet. After everything we've been through, I won't let you down. I'll keep watch. Get all the rest you need.
You should get some sleep. Big day coming up. Right. Things feel different now. Wrong, somehow. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but it's always been a fight to survive. It's just a fight. Putting my life on the line for someone else's cause. It's the opposite of survival. It's foolishness. You helped me through some rough Sokka, Envoy. Your cause became my cause at that point. We're about to go out there and risk our lives for, what? A concept of how things ought to be? We might die, all to determine who sleeps in the nicest house in Paradise until the island decides it's time for a change. It's fine. Really. But it's some blessed day Sokka when you think about it. Right. Careful you don't get stuck in all that sap. I'll be all right, Envoy. You go get some blessed day rest.
I'm sweating like a pig. I suppose I'm in exile now. Oh, gods beyond. Will I have to get a job?
What do you want, envoy? Hadir and the Steel Garrote will regret ever laying eyes on the living lands. Yes, for now. Adir cannot be allowed to win. If they gain a foothold, they'll devour the rest of the living lands. All of us must be free, or none of us are. Give the Steel Garrote the end they deserve.
I have no idea why we even need these negotiations. Adir needs to go. Fuck Adir. Fuck the Steel Garrote. We should be mounting an attack.
Envoy, I am sorry our paths had to cross in the midst of so much grief. Turning on your kinsman could not have been easy. But the Steel Garrote are overdue for a reckoning. Any victory you eke out here will send a powerful message that the living lands is under your protection. While I have you, I wanted to check on Yatsli. Make certain she's warm and well fed. How are you, my little acorn?
Much better now that you're here, my oak.
Do you have everything you need for the battle to come? Weapons, snacks, intoxicants?
As tempting as that sounds, no. We have everything we need to kill that woman for good.
You can always stay behind if the battle rages too fiercely.
I missed you too, darling. I'll be right back. Mommy just has to take care of some things.
Take care in battle, envoy. Your kinsman will not go easy on you. Hold nothing back. And farewell.
What? No words of encouragement for your favorite student?
Forgive me, Giada. My eyesight isn't what it used to be. I have nothing more to teach you. And yet, there is so much out there for you to learn. Once the dust settles, I trust you to live in whatever way suits you best.
Don't you dare make me cry. What kind of animancer cries on the eve of battle?
The best one I have ever known.
I won't keep us any longer. Let's go finish this.
I'll be back, my darling. Just have to take care of a few things.
Be seeing you, old man.
I can see why his people trust him. He's a natural leader.
Is that all you got?
Another
Good
win.
shooting, Kai.
But who's counting?
Don't just stand there. Ugh, I've got this.
Let the worst come. I am ready.
That's all of them.
foolishness. We shall tear your enemies apart.
What was that?
On your left, dear. Onward, watch your left.
I'll hang back and watch the gate.
For our freedom! Welcome to the place of battle, Envoy. It pleases me to greet you in full health. I thank you again for the medicine. Thank you. It is good to be myself again. I traveled here for you, Envoy. When I learned of the events in Paradise from the dwarves as they marched out of the tusks, I knew where I'd find you. I hear that you have chosen to defend the living lands. I will honor my life debt to you by keeping the peace here, after the battle. The kith of the living lands, they mean nothing to me. But that is unimportant. Let us waste no more breath. Breath is too precious, as both you and I know. I will leave you to the war now. You have my vow, Envoy, and my thanks once more.
If we make it out of this, I'm going on vacation.
The Envoy? Of course you'd be the last face I see. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to see you here. I have. As an endearing soldier, it's only fitting I die here at the dawn of our war against the living lands. But never mind that. That isn't what's important right now. You've declared yourself for the enemy. You've turned your back on Adir, on the Emperor. Again. I don't understand. Why, Envoy? What right do the others have to be here? Because they landed some number of years before us? Does that mean they deserve it? You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Adir. At least we're taking some of the garrote with us.
Someone's eager to meet us.
Envoy, what are you doing here? I thought you left town weeks ago. About time. You're the only one Ludwig will listen to. I saw a few on my way here. I imagine they've been waiting for this to happen for a long time. Listen, one of the Garrote's units is scouting up ahead, maybe 5 strong. I wouldn't want to fight them if I were you. Take this key. It'll unlock the gate to the canals. You can thank the captain who forgot it. Suit yourself. I wish someone had stood up to the Steel Garrote a long time ago. But, well, you're here now. That's what matters. Good luck.
Envoy! I doubted I'd ever see you again. I imagine I could guess what brings you back to Paradis. I must thank you once again for bringing me the Luminous Adra so long ago. Oh, it was wonderful. It was a complete failure, of course. But from that failure, I learned much. With some creative exploration, I was able to refine the Adra into a poultice that heals wounds at a fantastic rate. It seems fate was on my side, doesn't it? I know you have much to do in town, so I'll let you go. Thank you again for everything.
We should go now.
To go against
Fighting's
your
died
own
down.
emperor.
Can you
You've
not
got
hear the
principles.
screaming outside?
I'll give you that.
She's right. We can't go now.
I knew it.
Then
As soon
when?
as I saw that stash
Should
at
we wait
Fort
till the
North
Garrote
Leach,
set
I
this
knew.
fire alight?
They have thaumaturges out there. You saw them.
Envoy, am I ever glad to see you? Envoy?
All my best to you, Envoy.
Good fight.
That was a close one.
What exactly do you think you're doing?
Liviana, don't you ever take a break?
You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the Steel Garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? Well, at least you're alive. Try and keep it that way. Kai, is this your doing?
Come on. I couldn't have kept her out of the action if I wanted to.
I knew you were a bad influence. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess. Yeah, stop the fighting. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
Come on. You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times. Tight? I may not be a hero, but I can still save somebody's life. Liviana believes in me. I can't afford to let her down.
Envoy, it's good to see you fighting on the right side of history. Out of curiosity, what turned you against the Steel Garrote? It takes courage to stand against those fanatics. You know the Steel Garrote a lot better than we do. Their coordination is damn impressive. Any advice? Whew. That's grim. Gods, what happened to you out there?
We know what's at stake. Now we fight to win.
Feel free to do whatever you do best. Just stay out of our way. We've got a city to take back.
if this...
Your days are numbered.
Army won't hold up.
Dream with us!
You know how Adir feels about defectors. Watch yourself out there.
We'll be lucky to make it out of here alive.
Demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
That's Ludwig ahead. Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
She could use some payback for Naku Kuber, don't you think? Let's make sure she stays dead this time. All right, dearie?
There you are.
So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance.
Then what are you waiting for?
Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Oh, but it is. Some wounds must be cauterized in order to heal.
Cauterized? Your troops have nearly burned Paradis to the ground.
The only question is, what's to be done with you? You, who were once so bright and promising. Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
You will. You must. You have no choice. Face me and die with honor, or fall to your knees and die as a coward. How you die doesn't matter, but you will die. Every vestige of Sapadal must be wiped from this earth. The Burned Queen demands it.
We are a challenge to her authority. She is afraid of what we mean.
There you are!
So, did you... You'll get your...
Then what?
Look around.
Cotter.
The only... Supper... I... Do not...
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath.
You will. You must. You have no choice. Face me and how you... The bird...
We are a challenge to her authority. She is afraid of what we mean.
Blasphemy. Sapadal is a clot in the heart of the world. What should they matter to the true gods of Aora? Your god will meet their end just as soon as I'm through with you. Hear me, Envoy. I am the avatar of the Burned Queen, the goddess of retribution. I am her sword arm, her will in the world. And so long as I can fight, I will be her champion.
But she failed to ensnare the living lands, and we are free. How long until Wodika finds a new avatar?
I've done all that I could. She sees that. She must. It isn't my fault. Whenever you could, you stood in my way. I believed we were alike, Envoy. That when the time came for you to prove your loyalty, you would choose Adir. I believed the dream of our future, of our resurgent empire, would move you as it does me.
And if that failed, I believed the Burn Queen would stop you. Yet here you stand before me, my enemy, unopposed by the gods. Why?
The worm of doubt gnaws at her soul. Where was Wodica when she needed her most? Where is she now?
A faith that my goddess is For years I told I don't deserve. There you are!
Sapa.
We would not welcome.
We fit how the.
We are a challenge to her.
Black. Here I and.
But she failed to ensnare the living lands, and we are free.
It is I be that way. And if yet.
The worm of doubt gnaws at her soul. Where was Wodica when she needed her most? Where is she?
No! The Burned Queen witnessed my devotion and accepted me as her champion. I don't need anything else. I can still prevail. I must. I feel her fire in me. I know I do.
Do you?
Wodica, my lady! Where are you?
No answer.
No! It's not true!
Shame. Suffocating shame.
Stop! I can't! No! 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 Look at me! Wodica!
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for. But we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the Living Lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradis return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The Oracle Sargamus emerges from the Temple of Aethys unburdened by any purpose but for the one you gave him. He makes the long voyage to the Deadfire Archipelago and travels in the footsteps of his god, giving aid and comfort to those wronged by Aethys where he can. When his energy flags, he recalls the compassion you extended him, and he returns to his work with renewed devotion. His new labors cannot fill the hole left by his god's passing from the world, but they give him succor during the long hours of the night. He dies alone in the Deerwood, beloved of no one, but remembered by all he knew. He does not forget you. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. Though free, Shatterscarp is still haunted by the surviving dream thralls after the destruction of Naku Kubel. The routine hunt for the remaining monsters becomes part of Thirdborn's everyday life, another chore atop a hardscrabble existence with few comforts. The youthful make a game of the hunt, retrieving artifacts from the dead to return to those they left behind. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first, but after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the Living Lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him. With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy. Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people, he nonetheless finds that his worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks.
while he never regains his former place as a Warden of Solace, he spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two. Giada turns away from animancy, charting a new course in life. The old rules don't apply to her. She has no responsibilities other than herself. Writing, music, sailing, sewing, love. She tries everything, masters nothing, and finds the inner peace that eluded her as an animancer. She still carries the phantasmal focus, but it doesn't feel as heavy as before. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sopadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sopadal has questions about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.